Hello there, welcome back to an Outcast discussion. We didn't really do forecast discussion for today. It's been a few days, and I think we'll see. But yeah, we have enhanced risk right now. Cross portions going from southern Minnesota, northern Iowa, extending into southern Wisconsin, going into southwestern Michigan, mainly for some damaging winds, large hail, potentially significant as well, some significant damaging winds. I think up to like 80, 90 miles per hour. I think that's definitely a good bet for maximum wind gusts today, and it's also a few tornadoes as well. Um, but taking a look at currently right now, we see timer at MCS right now active over southern Minnesota. It's been pretty much strengthening quite well recently. Upscale growth has been occurring, been riding along that DDE gradient, and just going to continue to ride that gradient really throughout the next few hours and throughout the entire day. Getting pretty much downstream destabilization. We see pretty much all that, pretty much some more convection really bursting recently with renewed storm development on the tail end, and mainly just turn on station plots. Think Take a look at 500 millibars. We see a time of a convectively enhanced shortwave trough, um, with pretty much with winds around and the leading edge around being pretty much fed with basically 40, 50 knots of 500 millibar flow. So this pretty much convectively enhanced shortwave is definitely gonna definitely be supporting the MCS throughout the day with ample lift, and as well as downstream too. We have strong surface heating, surface-based parcels. Those are already basically uncapped, although we still see a type of a mixed layer inversion downstream with I think it's, let's take a look at SKU maps in a second, but we can go over to station plots, and pretty much downstream right now we're seeing temperatures well into the 80s, dew points well into the 70s as well. We see pretty much a dramatic increase really dew points as we get a time of that effect in that we get that effect really with that corn sweat, and that's gonna really dew point's gonna keep rising throughout the day, probably into the mid 70s, probably maybe upper 70s in some cases, where we get that corn sweat, of course. And so we take a look at our DDE gradient recently, and yeah, you can see basically that's setting up. It's gonna probably right along that instability gradient, so it's gonna probably keep going due east before turning off to the south and east with time, probably once it gets into Wisconsin. And wouldn't be too shocked actually if we see pretty much a rapid intensification. So we get pretty much once it really gets established, we get that once we get a robust rear inflow jet and a strong cold pool, and right now we're seeing tiny bit some of those overshooting tops right now, bubbling up right there. I think associated with a few actually bed supercells even producing maybe some isolated large hails. Well, it's mainly damaging winds at this time. Pretty much a line of sphere warning storms just to the south in the Minneapolis area, going just from Montgomery, which is Dakota, Rice, Scott County, and LeSueur. That's not right, but as well as Steele counties, and Seca, if I'm pronouncing that right. But again, you can pretty much see those are pretty much easterly southeast back surface flow. That's gonna definitely help those shear magnitudes up to around 30, 40 knots. Definitely gonna keep help sustain those updrafts really. And combined with the really extreme instability, oh, this is a recent update actually. It's a lot less convective inhibition, definitely more. So, but right along that instability gradient, just to the south and east, just south and west, we have 4,000 joules per kilogram mixed layer instability, quite extreme. And this is number is going to probably increase really throughout the next few hours to maybe around 4,500, maybe even close to 5,000 joules per kilogram just downstream from it. But all this is really going to lift just in north and west. So we have that low level jet in place at the southwesterly low level jet. 25, 30, 35 knots going to be pumping in that moisture. And yeah, I don't think I saw that we got a special launch from Green Bay. Don't know if that's dropped yet, but no, it hasn't. So, so we still see, so downstream we still see pretty much really good shear magnitudes around going from 25, 30, 35, 40 knots even. And that's going to probably increase just downstream. And see, her really tiny bit realizing really that pretty potent environment with quite a strong MCS actually. And we can say 100 millibars. And we see a tiny bit of few of those perturbations, of course, pretty much convectively enhanced from so. And we might take a look at models, short range models. We'll take a look at what recent trends show. I think on the her right now, it's trying to be playing catch up right now with pretty much over mixing those dew points really recently, last night and yesterday. So it's probably playing catch up on that. But take a look at photographs. See a time we see warmer action, of course, ongoing right now, and pretty much favorable for supercell structures, really better within the line, and pretty long photographs. So, I mean, we're definitely gonna be probably seeing some significant hail, probably within those embedded supercells too, or more of a more semi-discrete mode more takes place across northern Iowa on the tail end of the MCS, and take a look at those. Pretty sure we'll be seeing some pretty steep mid-level lapse rates. Yeah, around 8.5 degrees Celsius per kilometer. Really steep mid-level lapse rates, and probably seeing quite a bit of moisture in the low levels. Tiny bit, yeah. See a tiny bit of a capping version still in place. That's going to probably continue to erode with surface heating and would increase probably large scale ascent from warmer advection. And so, yeah, okay. But you can see quite a bit of dry air aloft. Definitely favorable for those more significant wind gusts. And we see those pretty much a pretty stout EML plume right over the risk area today. And we'll be those steep mid-level lapse rates. We'll be seeing quite an extreme amount of instability, of course, within the hail growth layer too. So that's going to support really a significant hail threat too. The ample stretching in the updraft into the vertical, and then we're going to be getting tiny bit some hail producers within those supercells, and definitely some significant hail, maybe up to baseball size even, but tiny bit unconditioned really to storm mode, which does not really appear to be too favorable and more uncertain at this time, but that's probably the main reason why they didn't go 30% significant hail, I think. But anyways, um, you can take a yeah, we'll take a look at our low level instability. Um, and so um, yeah, a decent amount of low level instability really. Um, with vorticity, I don't think what we probably seen some mesovortices. Um, and we can see time of it is a pretty much line normal shear, and pretty much 0 to 3 kilometer um, shear values, pretty line normal with around 40 knots, just 30, 40, 35, 40 knots just out ahead, and well, some decent so it's also found um, that basically line normal 0 to 3 kilometer shear, um, and it also could support vortices, mesovort, more I can't speak, but mesovortices within line normal 0 to 3 kilometer shear as well, with extreme buoyancy really, as well as DDE difference, max CDE difference as well within the 0 to 3 kilometer layer as well. It's a decent when it comes to, it's a good estimate really to estimate that cooled pool strength as well. So um, so I think some of the vortices are definitely going to be possible, um, as well as some QLCS tornadoes within those embedded supercells, given the photographs, of course, um, and pretty streamwise in the lowest, pretty relatively streamwise in the in the low levels. So that's something to keep an eye on, really, and but otherwise, really just keep an eye, really, if you're in southern Wisconsin. But it's definitely um, but otherwise, um, just keeping an eye out really today, and and oh man, we'll see what happens really across Minnesota and southern Wisconsin. Um, I mean, that's really it for the Snowcast discussion. We'll see if I'll drop another one, but later this afternoon, going to tonight. But as we can see, pretty nice MCS active. So otherwise, apart from that, that's really it. And goodbye.